Doktor.
Okay, saya. Ya. Boleh dengar saya tak?
Partisipan tak ada yang masuk lagi.
Join lagi.
Kita nak tunggu ke nak start ke macam mana tu?
Macam mana?
Saya dah WhatsApp dah partisipan tu tapi tak ada feedback lagi dari diorang.
Okay. Sekejap
Okay.
Okay. Itulah macam mana? Either nak record je ke? Kita tunggulah Tunggu.
Boleh juga kan
tak ada
doktor?
masalah sebab
Kita start
chemical
first.
memang macam tu. Sebab kalau industri ni jarang-jarang diperlukan lah. Dia akademik je kebanyakannya kan.
Boleh juga doktor. Sebab kita record kan yang ni.
So sekarang recording
Dah record.
So tak apa. Mungkin you stop dulu and then kita re-record balik lah kan. Once partisipan masuk. So you boleh WhatsApp saya lah bila partisipan dah masuk. Let's say partisipan memang sibuk.
Dah ada seorang dekat waiting room.
Waiting room
So kita boleh admit partisipan ni, lepas tu doktor boleh start untuk.
Okay, boleh?
Okay, saya buat opening dulu kejap ya doktor. Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Happy weekend. Thank you for finding time and visiting today's webinar session. My name is Alifa from Megajati Academy and I will be a moderator for today's webinar session. Today we are presenting report writing guide for PAE application category chemical by Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Umi Fazara Ahmad Ali. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. Please mute your microphone during the presentation. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the chat box and speaker will read them during the Q&A session. We will also send all the relevant email after the event, including a link to download today's slide presentation. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome our speaker to start the presentation. Thank you.
Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Miss Adia. Hello, Assalamualaikum, Dr. Arkam. And welcome, Mr. Nur Iman. Okay, so today I'm going to present on the report writing procedures. So I'm going to share my screen, Miss Adia. Right. Okay, so thank you so much, Megajati, for Megajati Academy for inviting me for this talk for today. So basically, we will be doing it, I think, in two ways, which is participant can always ask me during my presentation. And don't worry, if you don't want to ask me online, you can always write in the chat box as stated by Miss Alia just now. So today I'm going to present on guide on writing technical or design report for chemical engineering. Okay, so a little bit about myself before I proceed to the document. So a little bit on my academic background for those who who just joined. I completed my bachelor degree in 2003 in chemical engineering, University Malaya. And then I proceed to my master degree in separation technology, also under chemical engineering, University Malaya, with my thesis title is about a separation process from farm shell based activated carbon. And then in 2011, I completed my PhD degree at Imperial College London. So they gave me 2 awards, which were Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Engineering and Diploma of Imperial College London. All right. And my thesis is about electrochemical separation and purification of metals from waste electrical and electronic equipment. So at that time, people, talking about waste coming out from electrical and electronic industries. So my specialization at Imperial College is on the electrochemical separation lah. Okay, so it is part under chemical engineering department as well. Okay, so basically, from my degree to my PhD, all are under chemical engineering. So a little bit about my working experience. Because some people will say that academic background, you just have your knowledge, not your practical knowledge. You use it in industry. However, yes, I have some of the years. I'm having an attachment with industries. So basically, I started in 2003 as a research assistant. At that time, when you finish your degree, you're very excited. When you have your final year project, you're very excited to extend it a little bit and get your master degree. Yeah, some of them wants to work. Yeah, me too. However, because I have a better offer from my supervisors at that time, he's paying me right after I finish my degree. Then after my master, I thought, okay, I'm gonna work to industries. However, because of the better pay, and they gave me an opportunity to be a tutor and then a lecturer in University Malaya. So I took it because of the pay. Actually, I mean, the pay is quite good, quite handsome at that time. And then I went for I got married and then went to University of Malaysia for this as a lecturer, because I'm married with lecturers in UNIMAP as well. So I transferred myself from UM to UNIMAP. And then I went for my PhD degree at Imperial College London from 2007 to 2011. And as you know, I have the desire as well to work in industry. So when the times come, especially when the students have their long break, so I went to industry. So in June 2013, up to November 2013, I was accepted as a wastewater treatment plant engineers as industrial attachment there lah at Shuraba, Malaysia. It's quite near to my office. Quite glad because we have some collaboration with them. And then this is quite long because in September 2014 up till August 2016, I have the kind of industrial attachment with reference mega cycles in Berhad in Penang, Malaysia. So this is the point where I'm using all the knowledge that I have in industry to file in or to apply for my professional engineer. Okay. And then now I am an associate professor still with UNIMAP. And currently I have a few collaboration with industries as well, and getting grants from industry as a consultant because I'm part under UNIMAP. So basically we have all this kind of criteria as a lecturer to have consultation, to have teaching, to have research, and etc. All right, so a little bit about my working experience. So I have a kind of industrial experience about 4 to 5 years. But however, now still I'm doing consultancy with industries. Now I'm doing with Yoko Berhad, if you know, situated in Kulim, and as well as Eco Power Synergy in Puchong. So there are a few industries that asking us, as a consultant to their industrial problems. All right. Next is. All right, so my task today is, to explain to you in detail on writing a technical report. Basically, I'll use both languages, Malay and English. So if you have any problem to understand, just let me know, just shout, or just you can write, and Alia will read it later, and I will read it as well. So if you think you have any problems in my presentation, just let me know with regards of chemical engineering lah. Okay, so because I'm writing for chemical engineering. So the technical report that you write later, or you are writing at the moment, okay, shall demonstrate that the applicant has attained the engineering knowledge. Okay, number one is engineering knowledge. If you are in chemical engineering, so chemical engineering knowledge, understanding and application in his engineering discipline or expertise area at the level necessary to underpin the technical competency required for PE. Okay, so I'll discuss later on what kind of technical competency that you need that are required, to file for application for professional engineers. Right, applicant can only proceed to sit for the professional interview provided the technical report has been assessed to be satisfactory. So basically, you need to send your technical report, in this case, to Board of Engineering Malaysia. They will assess it first before calling for interviews. So basically, once they are satisfied, then probably they will call you. If not, they will return back and look, this report is not completed, or you don't have kind of design criteria within your report. So basically, it's kind of take some time as well for you to be eligible to sit for the PI interview. So don't worry, I'll go through one by one later on the, what needed within your report, right? Okay, so the next one. All right, okay. So what kind of competency category, all right? So this one I took from IEM website. So basically, if I'm not mistaken, once, because I'm doing this in 2016 and I submitted in 2017. So it's about 4 to 5 years already. So now they have the rubrics, what kind of competency that you need to fulfill. Okay, during my time, it's more towards what kind of content that you should have within your report, all right? So this is list of competency category A. Now A is the combination of general and specialist engineering knowledge and understanding to optimize the application of existing and emerging technology. Okay, when you see chemical engineering later, I will talk to you what is the basic or criteria of chemical engineering that you need to put in within your report. Okay, A1 is maintain and extend a sound theoretical approach in enabling the introduction and exploitation of new and advancing technology and other relevant developments. Okay, basically, if you come from industry, so you have some kinds of theoretical approach, enabling the introduction or exploitation of your work that currently you are doing, okay, or any advancing technology that you have within your industries. A2 is engaged in the creative and innovative development of engineering technology and as well as continuous improvement system. Okay, and then A3 is apply engineering knowledge. This one is the one that I've spoke earlier, that you have to apply any engineering knowledge which relates to local practice, code standards, specifications, materials, product, environmental plans, and other requirements. So wherever appropriate, you apply engineering knowledge contributed, including suppliers, consultants, contractors, manufacturers, technologies, and whatnot. So basically, as an engineer, yes, you are, dealing with this kind of people, this kind of stakeholders, including all those that I've spoke just now, suppliers, consultants, contractors, and etc. Okay, so this is competency category E. Right, the next one is competency category B that you should fulfill within your report writing is to apply appropriate theoretical and practical methods to analysis and solution of engineering problems, identify potential projects and opportunities. Okay, for example, if you are currently working on projects and any opportunities, in front, so you can put it within your report. But however, I'll let you know how you're going to write later, right? So conduct appropriate research and undertake design and development of engineering solutions and implement design solutions and evaluate their effectiveness. Okay, so note that the design and site experience is generally covered in competency category B. Right? So So this one that I've said just now, the depth of technical competence in competency categories A and categories B, as well adequacy of the technical profile as the whole, whether the applicant is technically competent to sit for professional interview. So basically, once you fulfill the technical competence in competency A, category A and B, then when the panel of the panel who assess your report would be satisfied with that, and basically if there is okay, if everything is okay, then they will call you for the professional interview, to sit for the professional interview. So generally the existing guidance for technical report is applicable. If you submit through IEM, then this one is applicable online. So they will give you all this data before even before you sit for the professional interview exam, right? So how you like to, you have the report, however it's not in detail or in order. So basically IEM will guide you through how you want to write the technical or design report. Okay. All right. So all right, this is where I'm gonna explain on what do you need or the content of your report. Yeah. So report typically has 4,000 to 6,000 words. All right, which excludes appendixes and or any other attachment. So within the reports itself, the one that you want to present to the panel of assessor, it should be 4,000 to 6,000 words. All right. So the content must be technical in nature. Pure management study is not acceptable. Even in chemical engineering pun kita, we always deal with technical technical things, and a pure management study is not acceptable. Okay. So this one, what I said just now, is applicants will be provided with the guidance notes. Okay, if you can find it online, which is IEM PAE 600 on technical report. So you have to fulfill this as additionally with the competency category A and category B that I just told you just now, right? Okay. Next one is okay. So the format. Okay. Later on, I'll show you my own report, right? So what you have to write down within your report, what's important, and what you have to present to the panel of assessor lah. All right. Okay. So to tell you the truth, there is no fixed format. Okay, memang tak ada fixed format for your technical report. Okay, you can do it your way. Okay, however, you have to have this kind of content within your report. Okay, memang tak ada fixed format. Okay, it is strongly recommended that the applicant should ensure that the report contains some essential parts, which is inclusive of but not limited to the following. Okay, so number one is a list of contents, including the appendixes. Okay, macam biasa, if you write a report, you will have the list of contents, right? And you will put in the appendixes that you have. Okay, for example, your calculation, or kind of you want to put in some of the your modeling project or something at the end. Okay, as you put it as appendixes. All right, and then a brief summary as a preamble. Right, so normally in report you have a summary, an executive summary. Okay, a column on the right of each and every page of the report for the supporters, supervising engineer to certify. So basically this one is necessary now. Okay, however, during my time, we just have one page for either your mentor or your supervisor that have the professional engineer title. Okay, that check your work, sign your document. Okay, however, if you submit it through IEM, you need to have a column at each of every page being signed by your mentor or supervising engineer, okay, certified by them, right? So next is a checklist at the end of report for the applicant to check, sign, and confirm all documents submitted in the reported by yourself lah, right? So this checklist is a new thing as well. So basically it's good because panel of assessor can always go through all the work done, I mean, all the work written by you. And then they can check that and confirm that you are the one who do it, okay? Not anybody else. Okay, so you can put a checklist at the back, okay, sign it, and then at the same time, you know, the panel assessor will be, I mean, make them easy lah, memudahkan mereka untuk check bahawa semua kerja ini adalah dilakukan oleh yourself lah, not anybody else. Okay, alright. Okay. So normally we will submit 2 copies of technical report printed in on an A4 papers, okay, with supporting sheets, calculations, table, charts, diagrams, or drawings duly certified. Okay, make sure that I'll go through later your drawings or your diagrams, any charts or tables being duly certified. Okay, let's say you're working in industries and you have things that private and confidential. Okay, similar like me, when I'm presenting my report is PNC. So you may ask them, okay, the panel of assessor, perhaps from the VM or IEM, you know, for the assessor to sign an NDA. Okay, so if they sign an NDA, so you know, all your work would be PNC lah, right? So they cannot use your work for any other work later. All right, so you can ask for that, right? The NDA to be signed. All right, so this report shall include one or more of the following. Okay, so should be, you can have design work. Okay, you can have feasibility study. Okay, even if you are from academics, you can have research and development work. I'll let you know one by one later what are the contents of it. And then you can do operation and maintenance work and other engineering works that you feel satisfy all the contents of chemical engineering criteria. Okay, so basically no management work lah. So it's more towards your field work, which is design, your technical work, right? So you can choose one of this, okay, or one or more of this, the following work lah, right? Okay, for me, I'm doing the design work, right? For my case, I'm doing the design work. So it's kind of easy because when you work in industries, you have, you know, you deal with you know, technical design, you know, for example, the design of reactors or some downstream processes, for example, you know, distillation column or kind of the unit operation within your industry itself. Okay, right. So, okay. Right, this is the important part, okay, for chemical engineers. I think most of you are chemical engineers, right? If not, maybe you are in environmental engineering or something relevant, the branch of chemical engineering, right? So the important parts in chemical engineering report, technical report, okay, is you have to include chemical engineering principles. Okay, this one is, you know, the assessor is, I can say, an otai lah dalam chemical engineering kan, orang lama dalam chemical engineering, okay? Because I've listened to talk by all the otais in chemical engineering, especially from IR Juarez, from IR Mawata, if you know them, and then some professors in chemical engineering. So they need to see the chemical engineering principle written in your report, including mass and energy balances. Okay, mesti ada mass and energy balances. I think if you are doing on design processes, even feasibility studies, even some of all other work within chemical engineering, mesti ada mass and energy balance. So make sure that your report has this criteria. Then thermodynamics. Okay. Fluid mechanics, okay, heat and mass transfer, and etc. Okay, so make sure all the chemical engineering principles are included within your report. Okay, if you have a design, if you are designing a reactor, or you are designing any downstream processes, then this one should be within your report. Okay, I'll show you later on within my report. Yeah. Okay. Additionally, it should include in safety analysis. You can choose. Okay, either you want to do hazard analysis, or you want to do failure mode and effect analysis, which is FMEA, okay, or any other analysis that is relevant in safety analysis. Okay, and then numerical analysis, cost data, okay, drawings or other relevant additional documents should be included as appropriate to support solutions, okay, and decision described in the report, right? So any appendices or attachment are not included in the word count. As I said, 4,000 to 6,000 word count, okay, the total words within your report, but they should be bound into the report. Okay, so if you have the appendix, put it together. However, it's not counted as the 4,000 to 6,000 patah perkataan tadi, yeah. Right. For chemical engineers, I think you know about this. You you must include your piping and instrumentation diagram, which is PNID. Okay, I'll show you later how I do it. If, for example, you don't have this PNID diagram, or this is very, very PNC to your company, this private and confidential, you can take a snapshot of where, kind of the work that you do. Okay, apa yang you buat dalam, you snapshot bahagian yang you buat sahaja, bukan the whole PNID diagram. Okay, so basically some of you tend to give everything without knowing that okay, this part memang saya tak buat, consultant lain buat, okay, only this part yang saya buat. So you have to be focused to your part only lah, okay. Sebab kadang-kadang bila orang lihat keseluruhan plan diagram and specification, they tend to give everything to the assessor. Okay, unless you do everything. However, normally kita akan snapshot a few ataupun kerja-kerja yang memang berkaitan dengan kita dan memang kita buat. Okay, next is alright. Right, while the report may include or be largely based upon technical reports or design studies or research works written, okay, it must include a commentary identifying the contribution the reported work has made to the applicant technical information and highlighting where and how engineering principles have been applied to solve problems. Okay, so for example, I give you my case lah, senang. Okay, so in my case, when I have my knowledge transfer, when I receive my knowledge transfer grant with preference megacycle industry, it was about separation and purification of their metals, okay, in wastewater. So basically within their wastewater, they have a lot of some low concentration of precious metals and high concentration of base metals. So precious metal dia ada gold, ada silver, platinum, palladium, okay, because their work is electric and electronic industries. So basically my task is to recover, okay, all these precious metal as well as base metals to be reused. Okay, so the problem is they have this kind of problems. They have their waste. So basically I try to solve their problems by using my technology, okay, in order to harvest back atau to recycle back, to reclaim back all these metals within their waste lah, and then resell it again. Okay, so you have to show macam mana engineering principle, how the engineering principle have been applied to solve the problems within the industries itself lah. Okay, all right. So okay, let me go to design work first. Tadi ada a few work that you can do in terms of within your reports. Okay. In your design work, okay, wait a minute. Okay, at least you have to include at least 2, okay, but not more than 4 working drawings. The appropriate readable scale that is accepted as the norm in the applicant's engineering disciplines, okay, in chemical engineering lah. Okay, so at least 2, all right, working drawings, and not more than 4 lah, tak lebih dari 4. Okay, and then detailed design engineering analysis and calculation, okay, relating to one or more of the applicant's own submitted drawings. This one that I've spoke earlier about having the chemical engineering criteria, the important criteria of chemical engineering fundamentals within your work, and you have your calculation as well. Okay, right. So computer aided analysis design output shall be accompanied by hand calculation. Okay, so basically when you do your M&E, your mass and energy balance, you have kind of hand calculation that support your your computer aided. Okay. Sometimes you're gonna high seas kan, kalau siapa chemical engineer, you use high seas or Aspen software. However, you have to accompany it by the hand calculation lah, okay, to form parts of verification process. Okay, so for novel design, if a new design, including front end feed, this can be interpreted as field application leading to validation of work. All right. So basically, it's always going back to chemical engineering fundamentals. Okay, it's always going back to chemical engineering fundamentals. As I said just now, it's about mass energy balance, thermodynamics, mechanics, and etc. Right? So specification of which candidate has contributed or executed in the course of design or field work. Okay, so now next one is the bill of quantities. I understand that some chemical engineers does, don't do this bill of quantities, BQ, or we call it as BQ. I heard that the civil engineers did this, doing this, the BQ. Right, so you can do the cost or economic analysis, cost estimation, of your work, right? So I'll show you later how I did the cost estimation. So I think that one is sufficient for chemical engineering reports. Okay, unless you have the BQ, so you can present them. If you don't have the BQ, then we go for cost estimations. Okay, all right. Yeah, there's something. Okay, and abstract and take-off quantities. BQ should comprise abstract and take-off sheet relating to one or more submitted drawings, whether not prepared, not prepared by the candidates. Okay, so if the BQ normally, somebody else to prepare that, so you can put it in. However, take it the one that you do. You can highlight, okay, the one that you do. But the easiest one is to do a cost estimation of your work, okay, rather than the BQ. Now, normally BQ akan ada orang lain yang buat, right? So cost estimation is amplified what you do, so it's easier for the assessor, okay, the panel of assessor to look into and to match what you have designed and what are the cost estimation involved. Okay. Okay. So next. Right. This one is the second one. If you are not doing the design work, then you can do feasibility studies. Yeah. As I said just now, I'm doing the design work. So, if you don't have kind of design work within your work now, okay, or work that you have done previously, you can do feasibility study. Okay, so the report on feasibility study shall include the following items. Banyak sikit lah, tapi try to digest one by one. If you don't understand, then you can ask me later. Okay, at least one relevant drawing that convey essential features, okay, and details of an engineering system. Okay. Number 2, at least 3 sketches that contain sufficient details to enable a draft person to work them up into conceptual tender, big drawing without further guidance. Okay, so this one, as an engineer, normally, you're gonna have your ideas, your plan, something like that. Okay, so all this, sometimes you are not the one who draw using AutoCAD, for example, but the ideas comes from you. Okay, so you have the sketches, okay, you have all the dimensions, okay, all the piping and fittings, everything. So a drafter will draw it for you. Okay? That is possible, right? But the idea or the work is from you. Okay, it's just the drawing itself, right? And then preliminary stress system or other pertinent analysis, BQ or cost estimation as appropriate, specification to which candidate has contributed to subsequent design and field, okay, as well as functional and economic comparison of preliminary designs of an engineering system, okay, a comprehensive report of a major engineering project, a system design of a major engineering work. So basically, feasibility study is quite tricky lah, because when you work, you have all the technology there, right? Unless you are suggesting a new current technology to your pada you punya boss, pada employer you, okay? So basically, feasibility study ni is just you want to set up a new plan, for example. So you have a feasibility study, right? So basically, these are the content, the items that you need for report yang menggambarkan feasibility study. Okay, yang tadi design work, now is feasibility study. And the next one, okay, the next one is R&D. Okay, this one, industry pun ada, very common. However, in academics, this one is really common because you have your research. Okay, so report on research and development work, okay, shall include a description of the R&D work detailing the planning, the method, the deliverables of the work. Okay, clearly demonstrate a sound application of engineering principles. Okay, so when I say again, I like to say this because panel of assessor are very knowledgeable, okay, very technical people. Okay, so make sure you have all the chemical engineering principle within your technical report. Okay. All right. Number 2 is detail of progressive pilot or prototyping work. So normally, people working in academia, they have this kind of research, kind of collaboration with industries. So if they are doing technical report in R&D, they should have details of progressive pilot or prototyping work lah, either from computers and laboratory model shall be also submitted. Okay, so I've seen previously a report by an academics. He or he doing something to do with CO2 separations, right? So within the report, they put in the pilot and prototyping work lah. Okay, so they have these laboratory models, okay, as well as some computer aided lah, with modeling, okay, on CO2 absorption using type of adsorbents, right? So the work actually carried out by the applicant, okay, and all the engineering document, including drawing, should be produced by the applicants themselves. Okay, a critical appraisal of the design or any research experiment. If you have this kind of critical appraisal comments, okay, or system which may or not be in the work of the applicants may be included. Okay. So somehow academia ni, because when they are doing kind of research and development, they need to report the findings within the journals or papers. Okay, so basically, you can put in within your technical report. Normally we put in appendixes. Okay, so unless it is PNC lah, sometimes you are doing something yang not copyright yet. That's why I told you that if you think that the panel of assessor should sign an NDA, then ask for that. Okay, so basically this one can be submitted as well with your R&D work lah. Okay, all right, so let's go to the operation and maintenance. Okay, so if you are writing a technical report in operation and maintenance, you should have a detailed description of the operation of the plant or system together with the maintenance schedule, okay, which the applicant has formulated or designed. Okay, so this one is more towards operation and maintenance, which is I never seen before. Basically, most of the chemical engineers will do either design report. Most of them will submit design report lah, okay, or R&D. Okay, this one is normally submitted by academia, okay, academics people, and feasibility is no, you cannot. I haven't seen it yet lah. But you can forward your technical report within that. Okay, so the last one is operation and maintenance. So number 2 is the submission. The applicant should clearly indicate his contribution. Okay, would demonstrate a sound understanding of the engineering principle and their applications. A critical appraisal similar to R&D, which may or may not be work for applicant should be included. Okay, and details of modification made to the existing systems, which are the work of the applicant, should also be submitted. Okay, let's say you are doing some modifications, okay, towards your operation within your your work, then you can also submit that, right?
Hello, Prof.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt or ask question?
Boleh. Aiman, can you increase up the volume of your voice.
Okay,
Yes, please.
sorry. Okay. My name is Iman. I'm working
Okay,
at
Iman,
in the water currently.
Okay.
Okay, so basically I will do a technical report on operation and maintenance. However,
I see.
some detail that I might not sure I can do is that regarding the modification, because in sewage treatment plant we cannot do any modification. Yeah, because it maybe costing or whatnot lah, and approval sometime. So kalau kita just present operational, because I am an operational not maintenance, because kita split dua dalam indah water, kita ada split department. So I'm in operation punya department, not maintenance. So boleh tak kita just standalone operation punya report saja?
Okay, but you have all the chemical engineering criteria, right?
Kalau mass balance, yes, we have. But then it's more to treatment plant. So meaning that kalau macam saya punya apa yang saya daily apa panggil, daily task saya lebih kepada treatment. So saya akan check dia punya, kalau saya give example lah, saya akan go through dia punya result compliant, dia punya apa panggil current process, what not. So dia macam tak ke macam Prof tadi cerita.
Okay. Because I'm working with Shuraba as well, tau. So previously in wastewater treatment, okay, is there any problem that you need to troubleshoot? For example, you have kind of clogging ke, something to do with fluid flow ke. So ada tak sebelum ni yang you troubleshoot?
Troubleshoot and for the process itself lah. Macam contohnya compliance kita down sikit. So macam contohnya macam kita kena comply 7 parameters by DOE.
Exactly.
So tiba-tiba
So you exceed.
Dia exceed sikit, then kita just troubleshoot.
Yes, that's the one that you need
lah
to put in.
Okay.
That's the one that you need to put in. Because you are solving the problems, right?
Ya, betul.
So basically you have one problem. For example, compliances kan?
Yeah.
Compliances of some of the substances, right?
Betul.
Sometimes they overshoot, right?
Betul.
So what kind of problem solving yang you buat bila dia troubleshoot?
Okay, saya bagi contoh saya punya yang restitution dalam treatment plant. So currently kita macam ada masalah dengan untuk maintain the ammonia punya parameter.
Yes.
So apa yang kita buat, kita daily kita akan tengok dia punya proses lah. So kita tengok kandungan MSS dia, dia punya DO level dia, then kita just troubleshoot lah. Contohnya saya bagi situation yang dah berlaku ni, DO level kita tengok drop. So bila kita tengok ada drop ammonia shoot, so kita akan tengok DO level. So DO level ada drop sikit, whether sometimes we just fine tune dengan kita buat addition, ataupun sometimes kita perlukan kita tukar dia punya parts lah. Contohnya kita tukar diffuser.
That one is modification. Oh,
yang tu modification.
Exactly. Apa-apa yang you troubleshoot within the, katakan problem ammonia tadi kan, dia strike kan?
Ya, betul.
Okay. So ada a few ways, a few techniques you try to decrease down the value, right?
Betul.
That one is kind of modification. Let's say aeration, tapi you kena present it in chemical engineering principle lah. Okay, macam aerated tu you have to explain how you increase the aeration system.
Okay.
And itu adalah something yang modification that you made. Ada juga, okay, I bagi satu contoh ya. I'm a mentor one of the wastewater treatment engineer lah.
Okay.
Dia cerita pasal dia punya filter cake ya.
Okay.
Dia punya filter press. Okay. Not able to separate the between the liquid and the solid kan.
Betul.
Dia dapat lagi wet cake kan. You kan ada kan filter press within your ni system.
Ya, kita
kan?
ada MDU.
So kind of apa yang dia perlu buat or modify in order to get a good efficiency compared to the one that they have. So basically dia cadangkan untuk let's say besarkan the surface area. For example, saya bagi contoh ya the surface area. Then she contacted the suppliers. She present first the drawing kan, and then they integrate dengan fluid flow, things like that. And then she called the stakeholders, suppliers normally suppliers, and present her idea. And then the supplier said that okay, we have this kind of design. So itu adalah salah satu modification that she made, even though equipment tu memang dah ada kat situ pun.
Betul.
So betul yang you kata tu. Contoh ammonia ke ataupun substances yang tak comply dengan you. Kalau you standard standard A atau standard B kan? Standard A. So basically what kind of even small modification that make good kita kata improvement is the thing that you can write in your report.
Okay, berbalik pada yang technical report ni. So saya tengok yang macam untuk design dia kena present dia punya drawing, why not apa semua lah.
Drawing
macam tu drawing, lepas tu kena ada absorb studies. Kalau macam operational, kalau macam saya punya operational, saya macam drawing the plan itself dah ada drawing. So saya nak buat dalam AutoCAD atau semua. So macam mana operational punya method, apa essence untuk operation maintenance report?
I understand that. Nanti tengok report saya dulu.
Okay, boleh.
Later on kita come back.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Amin
Iman. Yeah.
Okay, Aiman, kita keep that one. Kita go through dulu. Nanti kita go back to your question after you look into my report. Okay?
Okay, boleh.
Okay. So, sekejap next. Okay. Alright. Just a little bit more. Don't worry. We'll go case by case because there's only 2 or 3 participants. Okay, nanti kita simpan dulu. Nanti I show my report first. So every drawing documents, wherever relevant, should be initial to sign a little bit by the supporter or mentor who must also certify that these are the works of the applicant. Normally kalau chemical engineering, you have to have the mentor of chemical engineering lah. Unless a mentor which kalau company you dah ada PE, okay, it's good, it's better lah. Okay. Kalau you tak ada PE, so you have to find a mentor from outside. So bila panggil mentor daripada outside, you kena ada logbook skill lah. Okay, that one is another issue lah kan. Right. So if only a portion of document has been prepared by the applicant, this must be clearly indicated and satisfied. Ini yang mungkin ada kena-mengena sikit dengan apa yang Aiman tanya. If only a portion of the documents has been prepared by the applicant, perhaps yang you ada ambil daripada your company kan. Okay, so you have to clearly indicate and being certified. Okay, so sebab apa penting bila you pergi professional interview exam, dia tak tanya dah ini awak buat ke ini orang lain buat. Sebab soalan dia akan berdasarkan you punya report regardless of you buat atau you tak buat. So to be safe, apa yang you buat, you letak dalam report. Apa yang you tak buat, you kena, kalau you nak letak juga, okay, it has to be clearly indicated and certified. Okay, PI tu nanti akan tanya, ada satu case lah, saya boleh cerita sebab saya dah banyaklah pengalaman juga since 2017 ini chemical engineering case lah. Okay, dia tak buat benda tu tapi dia letak dalam report, okay, but dia tak indicate yang itu bukan daripada dia. Okay, so bila panel of assessor tanya, you have difficulties to answer that. Okay, and additionally because you ada written exam, okay, dan written exam tu dia akan ambil daripada you punya technical report. Okay, so kalau benda yang you tak buat tu, basically I akan letak kat luar lah. Okay, as appendixes ke ataupun kita indicate that within the report, this one is from the company, not from you lah. Okay, right. It is essential that the drawings and documents submitted shall be the work of the applicant in the ordinary course of his permanent or contractual long-term employment lah. So basically, this one if you are working like normally for PE, to file the portfolio for technical and design report is normally you take 3 years lah kan. Okay, so you have a permanent or contractual long-term employment lah. Okay, so the technical report should be comprehensive, clear and concise, enough to give sufficient evidence of the applicant personal technical contribution to the engineering works or projects. Applicant should initial sign on every page of the report. So this one basically is a new term lah. So you sign at each of the page of the report. Okay. Alright, tadi ada soalan. So saya sekarang pukul berapa ya? Either kita nak berhenti sekejap ataupun kita nak teruskan. Alia, 11:52, saya nak bagi contoh saya punya report. However, my report is PNC lah. Tapi saya boleh tunjuk kepada participants my report. It's just that you don't snapshot lah kan. So adakah selepas ni ataupun nanti saya akan entertain all the question from Aiman. If Aida has question, then I can entertain for that. Perhaps mungkin specifically kepada you punya problem pada you punya report. Okay, so macam mana Alia? I have my example. So is it after break ataupun sekarang?
Kita nak break dulu. Sekarang pun boleh, Doktor?
Kita break sekejap. And after this, even Mega Jati pun tak akan record the example of my report. So kita break sampai pukul berapa? Pukul 11 and then kita come back.
Pukul 12 sampai pukul 12.
Sorry. Pukul 12 and then kita come back.
Alright. Okay, boleh?
Okay, so see you again with the example of my reports. Okay, terima kasih Alia. So, saya boleh sambung terus Alia
Ya, boleh Doktor.
Okay, right. So, Aiman, Puan Cik Aiman dan Cik Aida dah ada dalam talian ke?
Ya doktor, saya dah.
Okay. Okay, Cik Aiman pun ada Okay. Okay, so saya teruskan right. So on your screen sekarang, on your screen you have my technical report. So Mega Jati pun tak record. I mean recording you buang nanti. So for I am Aida and Cik Aida dan Cik Aiman, basically you can see lah, jangan screenshot lah kan. Okay, so as I said, format tu memang up to you how you want to do it. Okay, normally kita akan buat cover page lah. Okay, cover page ni terpulang pada you nak buat macam mana. Tapi the important part is you nak hantar ke mana kan. Number one is the one that I did is IEM, Institute of Engineering Malaysia. So if you send for PAE, so BEM lah. Okay, so to just let you know, BEM for PAE dia akan hantar kepada either IEM atau MySet. Okay, so this one is the latest that I heard lah. Okay, kalau you hantar ke BEM, kalau you hantar ke IEM, jadi final assessor daripada IEM lah yang akan interview you. Okay, right. So directly IEM terus IEM. Kalau you hantar ke BEM, dia akan hantar kepada panel of assessor daripada IEM ataupun MySet. Okay, so just to let you know, untuk chemical engineering ni taklah ramai. Okay, tak ramai. Okay, tapi ni tak adalah. For IEM ni members dia lebih kurang, if I'm not mistaken, is walaupun dia 500 lebih tapi yang aktif tu tak ramai. Kalau you see the mentor, kalau you ambil sistem mentor, adalah dalam 40 yang aktif chemical engineer. Okay, right. So this one is the cover page. So yang penting dalam ni ialah technical report and your project title. Okay, so basically up to you lah mana yang you buat. Tadi Encik Aiman ada kata dia buat in operation and maintenance. Bagikan tajuk kepada you punya report tu. I mean your technical report. So make sure that this one is the one yang memang you buat for at least 3 years lah. Yang mana, I mean yang significant. Duration tu okay, tapi yang dalam 3 tahun experience tu you tu ada yang significant, yang memang you buat A to Z. Itulah saya bagi macam tu sebab senang. Bila you masuk interview, soalan dia adalah apa yang you report, apa yang you tulis dalam ni. Katakan dalam 3 tahun tu ada satu perkataan yang memang actually you ambil daripada company you, tapi you tak buat. Itu yang akan menyebabkan you akan menjadi masalah ataupun ada yang fail lah. Ada yang fail. Ni based on my experience lah. So you tulis apa yang you buat dalam masa experience you tu, you kerja 3 tahun, 4 tahun ke, yang mana yang the significant one that you want to present to the panel of assessor untuk professional interview. Okay. So this one is my project title. Okay. Detail Engineering Design of an Electrochemical Reactor. Yang ni I cakap tadi. For precious metal recovery from waste electrical and electronic equipment at reference megacycle Sedang Berhad Bukit Minyak, Penang. Okay, so quite lucky sebab this is actually I started with only lab skill di Imperial College di UK. Okay, jadi bila come back to Malaysia, quite lucky because memang ada a few companies yang buat this kind of project. Okay, so I pun have this kind of grants. Okay, from knowledge transfer grants, industry and academia. So I'm using that grants in order to to design this kind of electrochemical reactor. Okay, untuk fit in to their waste. Okay, this one is at preference megacycle di Bukit Minyak Penang. Kalau if you ever heard, you boleh Google lah. So they are working on sometimes recycle of the waste and then electrical and electronic industries lah, within the electrical and electronic industry. Okay, so yang ni tahun 2016, so tak ada dah engineer ni, so tak payah letak PNGR ni, tak ada dah gelaran tu. Okay, just put your name and then you put your this one 61180 ni is IEM numbers lah. So kalau you dengan BEM, put in BEM numbers, graduate engineer. So make sure you dah register with the graduate engineer with Board of Engineering Malaysia. Kalau tak, you punya experience tu tak calculated. Kalau lu macam, let's say, tahun ni you nak file your portfolio untuk PAE, tapi you tak register lagi graduate engineer. So problem kat situ sebab dia kata dia tak calculate the one that you have previously. So make sure you dah register. Okay. So employer you mana? Tadi macam Aiman in the water ke? So Pakcik Aida kat mana? You tulis employer you mana? Date bila you file kan? You punya bila you submit lah. I mean within the range lah of submission. Okay. Alright. So ini yang saya kata validation of technical report. For now, setiap page tu you initial lah sikit. And your mentor initial. And tu you boleh check balik. Tapi for me, tahun 2016 is prepared by. This one is very basic lah. So basically, your technical report should be checked. Okay, should be checked. I boleh cakap thoroughly lah. Minta your mentor or your supervisors with PE, professional engineer, to thoroughly check your report before submission. Okay. So ambil masa, jangan nak terlalu cepat and then you skip all this thing. Kata oh tak apalah, supervisor memang tak apa, ikut masa dia. Dia kata okay, saya perlukan sebulan untuk check. Bagi dia sebulan untuk check. Jangan cepat-cepat sebab kita tak nak. Sebab you dah pay kan for your professional engineer and then professional interview and then you fail. So macam you kena pay balik. So something like you want to avoid that, right? So you nak pergi sekali lulus. Okay, so katakan you punya mentor minta, macam mentor saya minta lama. Okay, give them 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Ikut dia orang sebab mereka memang sangat sibuk. Give them to check thoroughly your report. Okay. Alright. So as I said just now, table of content. Okay. So table of content for chemical engineering. You boleh tambah lagi lah. You boleh tambah ikut kesesuaian. So number 1 is you have your introduction. Okay. Something like executive summary, something like that. Okay. And then process design basis. So you have your objective. It doesn't matter kalau you buat operation and maintenance ke, you buat feasibility study ke kan. Should have objectives of the report lah. Apa objektif yang you nak buat? Okay, you can list it down. Okay, list it down apa objektif yang you nak capai. Okay, right. Then process description. Okay, and then design basis. Okay, this one design basis ni important for you basically to do your M&E later lah. Okay, either you ada M&E atau you ada mass balance, put it down. Okay, so electrochemical reactor. So I'm dealing with electrochemical reactor. So basically, I have mass balance within. Kalau you ada M&E, very good. This one is 2016. So I have mass balance. Okay, I have mass transfer property. This one is very related to mass transfer. Okay, and then mode of operation and equation involved within my reactor design. Okay, and then electrochemical figures of merit because I deal with electrochemical reactor. Okay, and then I have electrochemical reactor design. Kat sini lah I present all my work, basically the drawings lah. As I said, kena ada 2, maximum 4. Okay, ni semua I buat. I mean, bukan I ambil sebab because the idea is from me, and then I adopt it in the company and being used by the company. Macam tu. Let's say you ada operation and maintenance tu ada different stories lah. However, apa dia punya essence ni ada kat sini lah. Apa yang you perlu ada Nanti kita akan bincang directly by case. Okay. Next one is failure mode and effect analysis or FME. You can do HAZOP, okay, or any other safety analysis atas apa yang you design. Okay, tadi ada kata macam mana saya nak buat, kan saya okay, nanti kita bincang macam mana And then project costing. This one yang tadi lah BQ. Okay, if you have BQ and BQ, dia kata sometimes it's not prepared by you, right? So you can highlight down the BQ made from others, tetapi you cakap lah this one is not prepared by you. So you indicate that, and this one is not. However, the highlight the important part lah, so you understand. Maybe you buat a little bit of summary of the BQ that you have. Okay, for my case, I buat project costing. Right. Okay, then itu saja yang 11 tu, and then okay, if you want to read here introduction. So I started with introduction. This one is Okay, kalau you boleh baca kat sini, the report is prepared and submitted in order to describe the design project undertaken in the company, okay, for the fulfillment of the requirement to sit for the PAE lah, okay, or the PI exam, okay. So a little bit about the company, right? Okay, and what is what is the job operation, apa dia punya kind of apa yang dia solve, something like that, okay. So a little bit about that. Semua ni tak PNC lah, yang intro ni tak ada apa yang PNC lah. It's about just about the company, and then you give the perspective. Yang ni saya cerita lah, I mean in 2014 I received an industrial grant something related. Okay, kadang-kadang akademia dia perlu buat macam ni. Kalau industrial people dia tak perlu dah, you know, kind of this. So about your work lah, okay, what are you working as, apa designation you, apa jawatan you at the moment lah, so you can let them know in introduction. Okay. Alright, so this one dah masuk the important part, okay, which is process design basis. So kalau apa-apa report mesti ada objektif. Even you know, simple report pun ada objektif dia. Apa yang you nak capai, what do you want to achieve, right? So in my case, the primary objective of this work is to design, okay, technically and economically viable, energy efficient process for the selective electrochemical recovery of precious metal from which consists of the following. Okay, so I list down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 objectives, right? So if you are doing in operation and maintenance, so you can write the objective. What you want to, what is the problem and what kind of solution that you made lah. Dan ada juga bila operation tu, what kind of operation that you handles, okay, something like that. Okay, so this one is design. Apa yang saya design, secretive particulate bed, electrode reactor, okay, and then determine the effect. This one banyak electrochemical lah, okay. And then saya ada optimization, okay, and then to develop a failure mode and effect analysis. Okay, and then the last one is to do the cost analysis on the fabrication of electrochemical reactor. Okay, okay. Just bear in mind, you are writing the report for PE, professional engineer. Okay, lepas PE is PEPC, right? Okay. So sebab tak ada academics dalam ni, just kalau ada academics within, you tahulah scope PE tu, you know, kind of not comparable dengan PEPC lah, okay. So just jangan fikir sangat serabut, okay, work within your boundaries lah, okay. Sebab ada yang kata, oh saya tak cukup ni, walaupun you dah kerja lama tapi you rasa you tak ada aspek-aspek ni. So basically bila you ada mentor atau you ada supervisor, kita boleh tengok macam tadi Encik Aiman tanya kan, mesti ada benda yang you know, you do kind of problem solving. Okay, within the engineering problems, you ada solve the problems and then you implement it. Okay, you bukan sekadar bagi idea saja, no. Bagi idea, you implement. Okay, so that one need to be reported within your technical report. Okay, so I go through balik lagi. Okay, process description. Okay, this one is what kind of problem berlaku dalam that kind of industry lah. Okay. So I describe the process, okay. So and I give some overview about how I will solve the problems. Okay, sebab dia ada problems dengan waste metal in their wastewater, which is yang tadi Encik Aiman kata dia punya apa tak comply kan. But this problem rugi kalau dia buang, something like that lah. Okay, so now kita try to recover semula, okay, recover back all their precious metals, especially gold, sebab dia dapat gold sebenarnya. Okay, alright, so we go to design of ini dah design yang memang purely design. Okay, so make sure yang I kata tadi you have the chemical engineering principles, especially the fundamentals of chemical engineering. Okay, so bila sebenarnya SSC tu akan baca, you know, the whole report, sebab from the report dia akan ask questions and dia akan pick up questions untuk tanya you dalam writing, essay writing. Okay, so make sure you get it right lah. Recheck, and then give your supervisor, mentor to read it. Right. So kat sini saya terangkan semualah about the process. About the description, design of cathode lah. Sebab dalam electrochemical reactor ni tidak ada cathode, tidak ada anode kan. So I explain on the design. Okay, alright. Okay, so sini design lagi. Okay, so macam saya kata tadi, saya ada cathode, saya ada anode. So I explain on design of the anode. Okay, you will nampak banyak ada numbers dalam tu kan. So that one is kind of to show our technical punya knowledge, okay, which is included within the chemical engineering fundamentals. Okay, and then kita ada flow circuit. Okay, and then I ada design basis. Okay, so design basis yang I gunalah. Seperti yang saya cakap tadi, format memang tak ada untuk report. However, you go lah one by one so that nampak sequence. Jangan you campak, tak ada sequence. Okay. So, dia punya subtitle tu terpulang pada you. Tapi pastikan ada sequence. Sebab yang membacanya ialah memang chemical engineer expert. Selalu industri. Okay. Selalu saya cerita kalau akademik, kita terbiasa dengan papers, journal kan. So, you kena pastikan you ada sequence yang membacanya ada people from industry. So, ni otai dan chemical engineers lah. Okay. Right, saya letak design basis. Okay, because this one is all included in my calculation. Okay, ada pressure, ada volumetric flow, you know, this kind of all the design basis within. Okay. Okay. So this one yang I kata kena ada essence of chemical engineering fundamentals. So macam saya buat electrochemical, so lots of electrochemical reactions within. Ada chemical reactions lah. Yang tu yang I think some of the chemical engineers in industry yang you know tak buat design, solely on design dia rasa macam mana saya nak masukkan all these elements within. Okay. So kita go case by case, macam mana sebenarnya nak put in within your report so that dia tak jadi macam satu kind of kita kata essay writing, very not technical, sangat tak technical kan. Dia jadi macam satu plain essay. So kita nak avoid that one, nak avoid that one so that you have all the calculation within your report. Okay. So I ada electrochemical reactions. Okay, what happened? Because I want to deposit gold, so I started dengan redox reaction lah. I think kalau you from chemical engineering, you boleh digest this. Tapi kalau tak, tapi nampaklah chemical reaction tu ada di situ. Okay, put in here. Okay, so I ada material balance process. So this one dah masuk kepada the mass balances lah. Okay, so kalau you baca material balance purpose, the second step of gold ion reduction. So in my case is I want to deposit gold, right? So I have this simple je diagram basically, tapi dia memang very fundamentals of chemical engineering. Kan? Very simple diagram saja. Okay, tak adalah jargon yang bukan. I mean tak adalah lukisan yang amat difficult or mass balancing. Okay, kalau you memang chemical engineering from your degree, you remember you punya design project, that one is one of the examples lah. Kita ada buat final year design project kan. So we have the mass energy balance. Okay, alright. So very pure chemical engineering ni ada all this mass balance. And then as I said, I ada dalam electrochemical, I ada cathode, I ada anode. So I did for both, the mass balance for both. Okay, and then I ada the reservoir itself because in my case, kalau electrochemical system kita ada cathode, anode, kita ada reservoir, cathode reservoir, anode reservoir. So what happened within? Okay, I indicate clearly mass balance kan, so easy. I punya report, alhamdulillah memang tak ada masalah, memang go through senang je. Waktu exam tak ada masalah, even I first submit pun alhamdulillah tak ada masalah. Dia tak return back lah. Maksudnya okay, dia bagi tarikh for me to sit for the PAE exam. Okay. Tapi don't worry, kalau you hantar and then dia return back, bukan satu masalah. You betul kan? Jangan kan. And one thing, try not to delay lah. Okay, I understand that you're busy, tapi try to find some time not to delay. Bila dia return back, you look back and then ambil masa. Yelah, kita kata delay tu janganlah terus after 1 year, because I have kind of experience from other people. Dia tunggu setahun sampai setahun, sampai nak last minute baru nak submit. So which is rugilah, the time spent for the writing, and then you did it like very late, then you kena nak bagi your mentor to recheck again. So nanti you cost akan incurred lah, you kena pay again. Unless ni lah. Tapi kalau you dapat di comment, don't worry, just digest it and then do the correction lah and return back to the panel of assessor. Okay, right. So elok kalau you boleh indicate directly the chemical engineering punya fundamentals or elements. I indicate sini mass balance. Nampak sangat kan mass balance. Okay. Lagi satu perkara yang I nak share with you, the panel of assessor ni, dia tak adalah nak check you punya calculation, because when you design something, it should be precise, right? Dia tak adalah nak go one by one. However, dia nampak, okay, the term ni, okay, fine, okay? Because you are doing the work, right? Nanti you akan bagi evidence, the drawings, the pictures, things like that, yeah? Okay, so, macam itulah, okay? So, mass balance, then, what else? Okay. Ni mass balance lah. Banyak mass balance, because yes, it involve before you design something, you have to do the M&E, right? Okay. And then I have mass transfer properties. Okay. Macam ni, I tulis secara macam chemical engineering principle, mass transfer, heat transfer, thermodynamics calculation, macam tu. So you nampak directly. The keyword tu nampak dah. So mudah untuk the panel, to penetrate, to assess, okay, she's doing the chemical engineering fundamental. She has include all the knowledge within the, her work or his work, and write it within the report. Okay. All right. Okay. Aiman tanya sekejap lagi. Alright. Sebentar lagi saya jawab ya. Okay. Alright, so mass transfer. Mass transfer rate in the reactor depend on the momentum of the inert particulates. So a little bit of intro lah sikit, tapi so I come to the calculation. Okay, so this all the calculation included. As I said tadi, if you include the fluid flow, mestilah ada calculation of Reynolds. Reynolds number, using Reynolds number to calculate turbulent ke, to calculate laminar flow, and then Stokes equations, that's why sometimes kan industrial people, bila they solve problems, they are more like they relate it with the theoretical knowledge. So saya mentor kepada seorang engineer ya, dia memang kata, doktor kena ke? Yes, kena. You kena relate back. Baru nampak you relatekan theoretical knowledge dengan practical knowledge. So ada relation kat situ. Apa yang you belajar masa your degree, chemical engineering atau your master ke apa, you apply dalam pekerjaan you. Memanglah engineer selalu cakap saya, tak ada apa yang dia apply. Tak ada, tipu lah, mesti ada. Okay. Contoh bila design, you kena you kena go through the BS British standard, all the standard, STM standard, so whatsoever standards. So it must be something. Dia kena macam my mentee, bila dia solve on filter press, I suruh dia buka balik buku. Memang itu. Sebenarnya engineer kadang-kadang tak buat pun. Engineer dia ikut kadang-kadang SOP, kadang-kadang senior dia ataupun senior engineer. Okay. So I suruh dia buka buku balik dan relate. Yang tu itu macam nampak clear. So sebenarnya memudahkan you bila pergi exam nanti. Sebab you faham konsep. Bukan you nak decrease down, let's say ammonia kan. You buka balik buku. Okay, what are the techniques? Kadang-kadang techniques yang you know, yang you buat sekarang ni ada relate dengan theoretical knowledge. Okay, buka balik. So whatever you buka balik, you can put within lah, because this is kind of troubleshoot yang you buat. Ada kita nak cakap ada evidence, ada bukti. Okay. So ini sebenarnya bukan yang saya come out. Ini sebenarnya daripada buku. So saya referred kan. Daripada mana? So bila you buka balik, theoretical knowledge dalam bidang chemical engineering, you letaklah reference. Bukan you yang buat sebenarnya equation ni, tapi equation ni digunakan untuk proof atau as an evidence. Even kalau you buat operation maintenance, ada benda-benda yang you have to relook back as an evidence to your work. Okay, the solution that you made as apa solution yang you ambil adalah ada evidence di sebaliknya, especially when you relate dengan theoretical knowledge, ilmu teori dalam chemical engineering. Okay, so semua yang saya ambil saya cite, bukan saya punya kerja. I mean I use the equation, however all of this are being cited lah. Macam saya kata, indicate which one is not your work, which is you take from somewhere, from the book, from the reference or from journals ke macam mana. Okay, alright, so basically next I have mode of operation and equation. So simple drawing je. Okay, so how it would looks like. Okay, so I relate lah dengan chemical engineering fundamentals kan, macam all this kind of dimension kan. Okay, and then assumptions. Okay, so normally in design project you akan ada assumptions and justification. Assumptions and justifications. Okay, so I have that, and then because I'm doing electrochemical reactor, so I ada electrochemical figures of merit. So basically panel of assessor tu memang chemical engineers. However, some of the terms ni mungkin bukan diorang punya bread and butter lah, dia tak faham. So I put in figures of merit, because these are the one that tadi saya kata ada the objective tu to optimize, right? So cell voltage, optimization of cell voltages, and then charge yield. This one everything actually from the book. Okay, so kita cite, buat citation. Pada item nombor 5 tu adalah citation dia, right? So this one, ilmu teori ni I gunakan untuk design my reactor. Okay, so I put a bit fast sikit. Okay, so electrochemical reactor drawing. So drawing ni, as I said, I did the drawing. The design comes from me. Okay, the design comes from me. All the tubing fittings, all the dimensions comes from me. Okay, however, bila you lukis, you takkan ada masa untuk draft a very fine one. Saya share. Okay, wait. So I send to a drafter yang AutoCAD lah. Okay, so I tunjuk kat you. Right, this one first. Okay, if you can see on my screen, ini how does it look like lah. Sebab dia plate lah. This is how it looks like, the layout. Okay, ada yang chemical engineering pure, you ada PNID diagram. Tapi for my case is how does it look like in as the installation lah. Okay, so this one subcon lah, bukan you fabricate yourself, right? The design comes from you, however it's subcon from somewhere else. Okay, so alloy plus, and then you are the client lah. Drawing saja. Tapi as I said, you go down the report tu, ada semua evidence that you are the one who design it. Okay, and then ask your mentor to check and to sign. Saya bagi a gist lah of the drawing. Tak tunjuk semua, tapi a bit on that. Okay, so all the specification ni memang saya yang buat. Okay, it's just the drafting tu. So drafting tu normally you don't have time to draft kan one by one, tapi you dah ada drawing, draft drawing. Okay, draft, and then the AutoCAD thing you boleh hantar lah. Okay, sebab ini pun dia tulis kat sini alloy plus, so it's just that you need the macam IWK kan, you need the signature from your mentor stating that this is your work lah, this is your design. Okay, alright, and And then this is another one. This is how it looks like for the electrochemical fittings lah. Sebab tidak ada anode, cathode and etc. Saya tunjuk secara roughly je lah drawing ni, because you have your own drawing, right? So macam ni lah. Nampak ni lebih kurang Okay. Drawing tu seperti dia kata minimum 2, maximum 4. Okay, maximum 4. Because it's your own work, so I mean it's your work, so don't worry about salah ke silap, sebab normally apa yang you hantar kat ke assessor, you dah buat benda ni, you have done it. Okay, so adalah masalah salah atau betul sebab dah dibuat dah diimplement Okay. Alright, the next one is failure mode analysis. Ini saya tunjuk kat you. Mungkin you boleh simple je. Okay. Saya tutup dulu yang ni. I'll show you. Yang ni lagi satu. Sorry, tertinggal tadi. Macam mana it looks like for my reactor design. View dia lah. Ini semua dimension saya dah specify. Okay. Saya dah specify, so they just draw je. They have to draw je. We draw je balik. So nampak nice lah kan? Nampak nice. So you have all the drawing specified. I mean all these dia punya dimension, everything already specified by you. Okay, next saya pergi kat FMEA. Okay, yang saya kata tadi, analysis tu mesti ada. Yang ni saya, actually yang ni, to tell you the truth, saya tak terfikir pun nak buat. Okay, because of, I thought only design. You dah ada semua mass balance, you dah ada all the mass transport elements. Okay. But this one is asked by mentor to do. Mentor, sebab tu mentor penting, atau supervisor penting, sebab safety is one of the element of in chemical engineering. Okay? So saya tunjuk a very simple one. Ni saya buat sendiri lah. Okay. What is it? Okay, this one. Hope you can see my screen. Okay, so besarkan sikit, sorry. Okay, so this one is FME. I did. Okay, ini I look back into FMEA some examples yang ada. Normally, you know, you look back in books, in textbook, something like that. Okay. So FMEAI on the electrochemical reactor itself. Okay. So I have subsystem pumping and piping system. Yes, we have pump, we have piping systems. And then component is the reactor pump, pumping, and I have a rectifier. Okay. And then the core team, usually technical team preference magnet cycle, which is kalau you kerja kat company, easier lah. So you have your technical team. Okay. So you are the one who prepared it. Okay. So I bagi contoh satu kat sini. So FMEA is failure mode and effect analysis. Okay, so item function pumping up stripping solution from stripping reservoir to the electrolytic cell. Okay, potential failure mode, either is pump failure ataupun clogging inside the pump. Okay, pipeline from stripping solution, precipitate at the bottom. Macam kalau wastewater treatment plant lagi senang sebenarnya, because you know you can do your own FMEA lah. Basically sometimes you ada safety team kan. So you can take it from there. Whenever yang you macam kata tadi aeration punya system. Okay, so ada FMEA dia or ada analysis, hazard analysis. Ni simple saya katakan, pump failure ataupun clogging ataupun precipitate at the bottom of the reservoir, stripping solution level lower than the minimum. Okay, so potential effect, apa effect dia? Okay, no stripping solution. Kalau clogging, less stripping solution in cathode cell, and etc. lah. Okay, so this is the potential effect. I think this one is, I take like less than a week to do this lah. Because I have the design, so I made my own, check lah, mentor check. Because as I said, it's my own design, so easier, tak payahlah pergi ke safety level, things like that of the company lah. Okay, tapi ada safety team yang relook at it. Okay. And then severity berapa the severity. So yang ni all this you know, there is a lot in textbook. You can relook again. Even now dalam YouTube pun ada dalam ni macam mana you nak develop the FMEA unless you are working with a company, should be your safety team tu ya dah ada dah this kind of hazard analysis or FMEA analysis or other hazard ke whatsoever. Okay, so ini contoh recommended actions and then action taken. So I suggest some action being taken, and then ni lah new severity and new OCC, new debt, some of the FMEA punya calculation lah. Okay, so this one you can look at the examples in the text. Normally textbook memang banyak bunyi even ada satu textbook on FMEA, how you want to develop it. Okay, so I did 5 pages saja for ni, but ensure that it covers all the equipment yang memang I design dan memang in operation lah, fabricated lah. Okay, so I cover everything. It's just 5 pages here for safety or safety analysis. Okay, so the last part is okay, this one is FMEA. Go back to me. Alright. And after the failure mode analysis, just I remind again, I wording tu berapa tadi 4,000 to 6,000. So macam actually tak banyak pun bila you all have all this. So saya ulang lagi, jangan masukkan benda yang memang kita tak terlibat. Something like that. Kalau kita tak terlibat, kita terpaksa masukkan site. Benda ni bukan saya buat. I mean, this is from where? Okay, from some apa? Somewhere else lah. Tapi you buat some citation lah there, so that finance assessor takkan tanya bahagian tu. Sebab bahagian tu bukan yang you yang buat. Okay, you take from somewhere, but you indicate it within the report. Okay, then the last one yang I cakap BQ tadi. Okay, some of you may have, some of you not. So kita buat project costing. Okay. So my project costing is just 1 pages je. What do I need in order to design my reactor? Sebab kita design for small concentration. So kalau you tengok taklah banyak sangat sini. So 68,000. Because small concentration of gold kan. So what do you expect? You want a very big reactor? So small reactor is just sufficient for that. Okay. And then yeah, the estimation capital cost running a reactor. So you specified lah. Ni 1,000 kilogram per kg per day shredded wheat as presented below. So some of the calculation that we have made lah. Okay. Alright, and then ni I masuk appendix. Habis lah. Lepas you habis project costing, should be the end lah of your written report. Okay. So as I said, ni tak termasuk dalam the calculated wordings tu. Okay, so yang ni you boleh masukkan apa-apa content yang you rasa support you punya report. Contoh kat sini saya buat juga some modelling. Biasalah academics ni kita ada modelling tau, masuk juga. Kalau you ada HISIS or Aspen, you boleh masukkan. Okay, so I put it in because I have some modelling work just to help my calculation, my hand calculation lah. Okay, so I put it here. Agak banyak juga lah sebab so some of the graph lah yang mana yang penting. And because I'm doing fluidization of particles kan, ada fluidize, so kita masukkan juga all the spreadsheet yang kita buat untuk predict, okay, untuk predict how the fluidization of particle will happen. Okay. Okay, some predictions. And this one you boleh letak apa saja yang you rasa support you punya report, you can put in. Tapi dia takkan tanyalah bahagian ni, tapi it's just stating that you have done that, and it supports you punya written report within the content lah. Okay. Alright, so I think sampai situ saja kot. Banyak juga appendix yang I letak. Doesn't matter because unlimited appendix ni unlimited. Tapi pastikan dia support lah. Jangan you ambil somewhere, ambil letak-letak tapi tak tahu what's the importance of having the appendix. Okay, because it support you punya. So little bit lah. Sebab saya deal dengan very small concentration. You tengok dia you tak adalah deal dengan very big tank ke apa. It depends on your objective again. Back to your objective. Sebab tu saya kata, somebody see it tu sangat susah nak go for professional interview exam. Okay, kalau you dah ada all that elements kan, chemical engineering, you know, just go for it. And you have the experience, the working experience, maximum 3 years, right? Okay, so bukannya sesuatu yang besar ke apa, tapi you back to your objective that you fulfill, you solve the problem, you solve the problem of the company. So something that you need to recorded and submit for your PI interview. Okay, so that's it. Good. Then if you have any other appendix, yes, you may put as relevant to your work. Okay, so apa lagi saya ada? Before kita buka jap, ada lagi 20 minit sekejap je saya nak share. Saya rasa penting untuk you all to know this. Okay. What else I have? Another one is, okay, saya masuk sedikit lah tentang training report. Sikit tentang training report. Yang ni you have to submit together with your technical report. So I think masih ada lagi. I think still you need to put it together with your design report because it shows that you have sufficient working experience in order to sit for your PI exam. Okay, so this one pun tak ada format. Okay, so it's up to you how you want to do it, and make sure it's very validated either by your supervisor with PE or your mentor outside. Kalau your mentor outside should be validated, and make sure kalau mentor outside you have to go through a logbook scheme. Logbook scheme ni sebab because mentor is outside, so you need to regularly jumpa dengan your mentor outside. So that one is another lecture lah. Okay, so basically you have to put in all your backgrounds lah, basically your working backgrounds and your professional experience. Okay, apa yang ada. Kalau you kata memang you kerja daripada di situ, memang tu tak apalah, satu tu lah. And the important part is what kind of work you have undertaken. Okay, so basically you tulis apa yang selama 3 tahun tu you dah buat banyak, you dah masuk banyak. Contoh you dah banyak masuk banyak unit, ataupun you ada berada di satu unit, tetapi banyak dah, you know, operation, maintenance yang you dah buat. Okay, yang report yang design report is the one yang very very significant dalam kerjaya you tu. Contoh ni lah, you fabricate ke, you design and fabricate, ataupun you troubleshoot a problem, you have your idea, you design it, implement it, something yang very very significant that you want to show to the panel of assessor within your 3 years of you punya tenure as an employee lah at the industry. Okay, so ini yang saya buat because of kalau academic tu lain lah kan. Academic dia ada research, dia ada management, dia ada design, so you can put here. Okay, unless kalau you ni, tapi some even in industry you have some man hours tu untuk management, untuk research. Not research, for your field work. So that one, yang tu your mentor can nasihatkan macam mana. Okay, so academia maybe a little bit different. Okay, tapi industry maybe more towards side work lah kan. So man hours tu banyak kepada my side work. I mean the time you spend in the industry and your site, okay, design. Okay, so I think itu saja. It's quite thick juga untuk lecturers ni lain lah. Untuk industry should be different. I think your mentor or your supervisor is able to nasihatkan. Even I am a mentor for my industrial. I have 3 at the moment. 2 lecturers, 1 memang kerja industri, pure industries. So tak apa, yang bahagian yang managerial ke apa, I kata apa-apa yang you buat documentation, so whatsoever, ataupun you dilantik sebagai safety, you know, committee or something, you can put it in. Tapi based on, because she submit the first report, based on the first report tu, the assessor need more design work. So sebab dia guna logbook scheme ya, bila logbook scheme dia kena submit, sebab dia bawa IEM, dia kena submit every 6 months. Okay, so I told her, sekarang ni you design, you punya specific, you have to design something, okay, and then the design implementation the fabrication, kita masuk dalam the final report which will be submitted to panel of assessor. Okay, so yang tu yang dia akan present lah for the PAE professional interview. Okay, so I think that's it. Saya ingat saya boleh buka pada soalan yang Alia ya. Kalau ada apa-apa lagi you nak
boleh Doktor.
need me to share, I will share. So boleh buka pada soalan lah. Okay. Okay Alia. Okay, atau kita buka terus. Okay. Alright, so Aiman, Cik Aiman ya, ada soalan ya. Sekejap saya buka Zoom. Saya off sharing dulu. Okay. Okay, stop sharing dulu. And okay, so kalau you nak on your camera pun okay. Kita boleh bercakap dengan lebih ni lah kan. I can see you, then you can see me. So if you have any problem, just let me know. I can try to ni lah. Can try to and make sure that kadang-kadang your supervisor, your mentor have different ideas. However, you kena blend in lah together. Bukannya, take my words then tinggalkan your mentor. It should be the mentor first lah. The mentor comes first lah. Okay, the mentor or supervisor comes first. Okay. So, okay. Silakan Cik Aiman again tadi. Soalannya ataupun nak tulis ke ikutlah. Okay. Atau Cik Aida nak tanya soalan?
Okay, saya banyak.
Okay, saya jawab. Atau Pak Aida, okay, saya jawab dulu. Assalamualaikum Doktor, nak tanya as the report progress, mentor ke yang akan access the advice? Okay, for amendment report. Yes, as I said Aiman, Cik Aiman, make sure before you submit, mentor atau supervisor with professional engineer check dulu. It's good to have that. To have them check first before you submit. So nanti you takkan ada kind of problem. So as I said, bagilah masa pada your supervisor and mentor to check before your submission. Okay, Cik Aida.
Assalamualaikum Doktor, saya Aida dari UiTM. Basically saya undergoing 1 year industry attachment.
Aida boleh cakap kuat sikit tak? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, boleh. Boleh. Yes.
Okay, so basically saya dah undergoing 1 year attachment at the consultants basically. During that time, my work is basically on the design reviews, Doctor. So based on the design review, my worry points, I go straight to my worry point is that the drawing is not being drawn by myself. We have the drafter and everything, and since the attachments as attachment staff, they are not putting the names of the reviewer into that design document. So bagaimana, Doktor?
Okay, academics lah.
Yes, maaf betul.
Doktor Aida. Okay, academics memang selalunya akan hadapi, saya banyak dengar daripada academics when they go for attachment, kadang dia review saja kan. Sometimes implementation tu is another thing. Okay, for your case it's like the drawing, right? Kalau masalah drafter tu tak ada masalah. It's just that it's from your own ideas lah. Kan, as I said just now, memang kita hantar ke drafter AutoCAD people lah untuk yang fluent in AutoCAD untuk do it for us. It says in my case is the idea is from myself. Okay, can I ask you, Doctor, is it the drawing is from consultant?
Basically because dia adalah consultant yang dia ada dalam consultant, dia ada teams of drafters lah yang mana
the design part.
The design part. Basically saya bagi for my case, bila saya join, there is a project that needs to be run at Singapore yang mana saya kena reassess dia orang punya design. Previously it's been designed with other engineers, so that when I join during the attachment, they asked me to revalidate the design. Some of the elements kita adalah validate dan yang kita comment lah basically based on the feasibility. Yang mana part of the design tu saya cross check by the Super Pro basically. So
Okay.
kalau begitu doktor, saya boleh tak kalau saya hanya because I involved with the massive calculations during the redesign review design tu, so that in term of drawing, ada PNID drawing and also the actual drawing of the equipments basically. Cumanya saya kalau dalam report tu saya just clarify the drawing is not being drawn by is not being designed by me but by another party. So I just focusing on the design review in terms of a sizing for instance lah. Basically on that sense, saya more on the sizings of those equipment lah, doktor. Bagaimana ya?
Okay.
Saya do
Basically in your executive summary, you will write that, right? You are reviewing or you are validating, right? In your executive summary. So you dah explain dulu kan? Okay. So just my question is, once you validate, is there any corrections made?
Ada.
Yes. That one is the one. So which means that you put the initial design, that one not being done by you lah. Then you validate, right? Then you found out that there is some error somewhere, right? So you have a massive calculation. The massive calculation, the important part tu you boleh letak dalam your main report. However, yang the massive one tu which support you punya calculation, you can put in your appendix, right? And then you told me that you have the corrected version, right? After your validation, betul tak? So that one is from you. Even it's just a small part. Even like you just katakan you have A to Z punya all the plan design, and you just validate some part of it, kan? And then you highlight the part that you validate, and then what are the correction measures being taken. I think that one is acceptable. Which means that I indicate that the initial plan is not from you. However, the one that being validated, the one that you have recalculated, for example, is from you.
Okay.
So because for academics, we just only need 1 year, right?
Betul.
So which means that caranya ialah you indicate betul-betul dalam you punya report. Apa yang you buat, apa yang you tak buat. Kan? Sebab ada benda yang you perlu masukkan sebab it support apa yang you buat, right? Indicate that. So saya pun banyak pengalaman yang pensyarah ni tak berani nak letak sebab dia kata saya pergi setahun tapi saya validate je. Tetapi bila you dah validate, you ada correction, they are taking correction measures, right?
Betul.
As your validation, meaning that your work being counted. Your work being counted. Okay? So my suggestion is in the executive summary, explain. Okay, explain that you have this kind of task, you have to validate, you are given this time duration to do this, and then specify your boundaries. Okay, kat mana yang you validate. Okay, and you did the massive calculation, so you can put in design criteria, things like that lah. Yang awal-awal kan, when you put if you have M&E or you have any kind of design basis yang you guna untuk mensiapkan to validate the work by other consultant, that one you dah specified tadi dalam executive summary. Okay, and then if you want to put the PNID diagram, yes, you can just indicate that this one is from somewhere. Okay, so which means that signing tu bila you ambil daripada yang luar tu, signing tu mesti daripada diorang kan, something like that. It's not your mentor or your supervisor. Tak apa, tapi you indicate that this one is from here. But the validation that you made, you dah validate, then ada corrected measures within the PNID diagram tu, itulah kerja you sebenarnya. That is your work. That is one that you did. I mean, you have calculated, you have done some design process, something, and you find out that there is an error, even a slight error, you can specify that lah. Sebab sebelum you nak specify a small error tu, you have to go a lot of, a massive calculation, right? Okay, so yang tu yang you ada initial, and then this one is after validation. Okay, macam ni lah. After validation, sometimes company tak terima ke something like that kan. Company don't want. Okay. Put it there and then make your mentor sign. Make your mentor sign. Mentor sign ataupun your supervisor sign. Okay. It's just that on implementation part. Sometimes, okay, kalau you implement, okay lah. Dia ambil you punya ideas kan. Kalau dia tak implement tu, dia tu yang you know, something like kalau implement tu, okay, you close the loop, right? Close the loop, you dapat error. Okay, kalau unimplemented, let's say, perhaps you know, when you have your mentor signature tu dah validate your work. Dia dah validate your work. It's kind of the implementation part saja kita pulangkan balik kepada company. Understand what I mean tak? Sebab, you know, it's difficult for us. Kita just 1 tahun je and then kita nak change something.
Betul.
Which is, kita just attached. We are not working there. So it's difficult for them to accept. Unless kalau ada yang berjaya, you know, convince them with all this massive calculation, things like that. Kalau tak, it's just that the validation from your mentor or your supervisor. Sign. This is the one that, the error that you found out, bila you dah calculate, you found out some error there. Validation made something. Kalau tak ada error pun, you know, the work that you have done have shown, right? Something like that. And then the report being verified. I think verified tu sebab tu lah dia nak pastikan yang kerja tu yang you dah buat lah. So 1 year is not enough for 1 year as kita attach is not enough to convince the industry that you need to change this and this.
Betul.
Kan? Dan panel of assessor faham. Saya unless you juga industri, sebab bila you juga industri you memang buat, you can implement that apa strategies kan. Macam kita bisa kalau dalam academics different way of ni lah, of assessing lah. Even when I say different, it's still the rubric. Sekarang ni kita ikut rubric bila assess you. We are using the rubrics, however the extent of the work done, sebab tu kena perlu verified at each pages of your report now. So I suggest kalau you dah cukup setahun and then you dah ada this kind of calculation which includes chemical engineering fundamentals, go for it. As long as your mentor supervisors satisfy your work, check, submit.
Okay.
Is your mentor or your supervisor, Doktor?
IR Azhar.
Azhar Petronas
Tak. Azhar UiTM.
UiTM is academic juga
Yes, but it is he is PEPC lah.
PPC, good lah.
Terima kasih Doktor.
So go for it. Okay, Dr. Ida, all the best. Okay.
Doakan ya Doktor ya. Terima kasih.
Boleh. Sebab you have your PhD, so we need 1 year. Macam saya dulu tak pressure. Saya suka pergi industri. When I'm teaching, bila ada waktu kelapang masa student break tu, I pergi industri kan. So senang kita dari dulu kita start. So sekarang ni kita buat consultant je. Kita park under universiti lah.
Okay. In case nanti saya siap report, bolehkah saya tunjuk kat doktor untuk
InsyaAllah boleh dapat kontak saya daripada ni lah. Boleh. InsyaAllah saya look through lah kan. Tapi nak check tu memang mentor atau supervisor lah.
It just
ada masalah.
To have another set of opinions lah, basically to
second opinion ke something like that. Boleh.
Okay, Doktor.
Okay, welcome. Okay, good luck. Okay, Aiman ada soalan tadi? Kita ada lagi seminit 2. Aiman.
Saya banyak soalan. So saya ada 3 soalan. So macam doktor tahu saya ni indah water. So apa yang doktor terangkan, saya dah macam ada enlightenment lah sikit kat situ. Kalau saya buat contohnya saya
apa dia? Sorry, enlightenment.
Enlightenment macam ada pencerahan lah kat situ. Sebab sekarang ni sebab
Aiman nak buka kamera pun boleh, Aiman.
Kamera. Okay. So
okay.
So sekarang ni sebab saya operation, so kita dealing end to end lah. So the front end, so kita ambil MSS or something like that. So kalau saya buat satu lebih fokus pada contohnya ammonia yang saya cerita dah, ammonia reduction dalam FE, final effluent kita untuk comply. So kalau macam tu acceptable ke, ataupun kita kena cerita the whole plant thing? Sebab memang saya kerja the whole plant. So sama ada saya perlu terangkan the whole plant or just okay, introduction yes, the whole plant, but then terus fokus pada ammonia.
Macam tu. Sebab dalam saya kata tadi format untuk report tu tak ada. So first you start dengan executive summary, right? Kat mana yang you terlibat selama 3 tahun. Okay. So you terangkan dulu. Kemudian dalam you boleh cakap you are involved in wastewater treatment plant from front end sampai habis kan. All the the whole plant. Okay. Within the report, you sebelum tu you mentor system ke you ada PE dalam
saya PE dalam water.
Lagi senang. Okay, which means
cumanya bezanya PE saya ni just okay, you hantar je report saya sign. Ada macam tu. Ya. Dia bukannya
dia tak check langsung ke? Tak check langsung one by one.
Dia check but not one by one lah. Dia akan you dah hotel apa 10 tahun lah. You hantar je saya sign je. Ada macam tu.
Okay. Cik Aiman berapa tahun?
Saya dah 8 tahun dah.
Chemical engineering lah background.
Yes, betul.
Okay. So you dah daftar board dah? Lama dah?
Board baru dah 3 tahun lah. Saya buat daftar 2019 macam tu. 2018.
Okay. Dah cukup dah. Okay. So cukup 3 tahun lah. Okay.
Dah cukup.
Saya kata cerita tadi, you start dengan executive summary, you cerita apa peranan you. Okay, sebab bila ada bila ada supervisor you memang PEPC kan dalam company tu, which means that memang you report kat dia kan.
Betul.
Okay. You cerita dalam intro you pasal seluruh proses.
Okay.
Seluruh proses yang you involve lah. Sebab you kata you involve semua kan. Okay. Lepas tu within this technical report, I will focus. This report will focus on kat I lah. I tu macam third party kan macam tu. Will focus on ammonia, ammonia problem lah, something like that. Okay. Masuk objektif, you explain down.
Okay.
Objektif apa? Number 1, masa kat intro tu you cakap lah dia exceed ke whatsoever kan. So dia exceed macam how regular dia exceed, something like that. You kena cerita lah. Okay. And then objektif tu you senaraikan. Yang saya cerita lah, to determine, to optimize, to solve the problem, something like that. Apa yang you dah buat. Okay. So bila design basis tu macam biasa, you put all the design basis that important. Normally Aiman saya cadangkan you look back dekat wastewater treatment tu banyak pasal ammonia treatment ataupun ammonia kita kata recovery lah, ataupun kind of to decrease down the value in wastewater treatment plant. You buka buku balik, masukkan semua element of chemical engineering criteria.
Kayaknya kita just put in masuk dalam based on kita manual, kita letak macam tu. Itu yang saya ada problem tu. Sebab kalau saya ambil semua, contohnya macam dari segi drawing yang saya ada masalah sekarang ni, drawing dan juga FME lah. Drawing tu saya bukan original my drawing, the plan is own punya drawing. So saya memang tak buat apa-apa modification on the plan. Yang kedua
tapi
memang
you indicate Cik Aiman indicate yang drawing tu bukan daripada you.
Okay.
Tapi troubleshooting tu mungkin equipment dalam tu.
Betul.
Equipment dalam tu. So macam student saya tu, mentee saya, bukan student, mentee saya minta dia draw balik the equipment yang problem tu, and then what kind of problem solving yang you buat. Waktu tu sebab bila dia ada equipment, dia bukan dia dengan equipment saja, dia ada piping inlet outlet kan.
Betul.
Dia ada tu, so saya suruh dia relate kan everything dengan so ini dah ada kaitan dengan fluid mechanics.
Okay.
So drawing of the equipment lah, of the plant operate, kan saya tadi tunjuk electrochemical reactor saya kan.
Betul.
Even kalau you deal dengan unit operation, tank, filter press, ada drawing dia kan. Yang
betul.
tu lah. So you
Action tank.
present yang the whole drawing tu, yang tu you indicate that this one is from the company, then you cascade down, you macam narrow down. Yang ni je yang saya buat.
Okay, faham.
Lepas tu you keluarkan drawing tu, and then you know, drawing tu dah sometimes dalam drawing yang besar dia macam blok saja kan.
Betul.
Block, you keluarkan drawing equipment tu, okay, and then what kind of problem solving that you made macam tu. You macam narrow down. Saya faham orang yang kerja industri operation maintenance ni sometimes you just fokus dalam satu tank saja ke ataupun satu unit saja kan, yang macam tu. Tapi you kena study in detail lah. Aiman dulu chemical engineering ke?
Betul.
You ingat tak design project you? You buat apa? Mesti ada reaktor kan?
Ya, betul.
Ingat? Ada reaktor, kemudian ada apa? Separation purification kan, downstream.
Betul.
You ada distillation column you ada kadang-kadang you ada liquid extraction, kadang dalam wastewater you ada conventional wastewater treatment for example, kan? You narrow down pada mana yang you buat.
Okay.
Dalam gambar raja is just a block, tapi that's why you keluarkan ia menjadi satu 3D drawing.
Okay. So faham. Okay. So saya dah okay lah, boleh lah tengok benda tu.
So okay, drawing besar tu boleh
okay.
masukkan, drawing besar boleh masukkan, tapi just indicate that it's not your work lah. It's tulislah sikit. It's from in the water ni kan.
Okay, boleh. So soalan kedua saya, doktor ada tunjuk training report kan, training report tu kan. Kalau macam saya lebih pada feel, not design. So macam mana saya nak fulfill 6 bulan punya design tu? Ke ada cara lain? Feel
work. Tapi kan you troubleshoot tu design lah tu.
Troubleshoot tu design?
Katakan, sebab you macam ni. You ada problem, right? You ada problem. You ada problem dalam you punya wastewater treatment plant. Okay, let's say tadi tak comply.
Tak comply.
So which means that you need to do some problem solving, right?
Betul.
You masukkan itu dalam elemen design. Kena you know, I understand. Bila orang kerja dalam fieldwork ni,
kita betul.
You buat SOP kan, you buat macam rutin.
Rutin
kan?
Daily routine, daily checklist, macam tu lah.
Maksudnya you kena check pH, you kena check ni on off ni. Tapi you try tu, that's why I kata buka textbook balik, relate dengan theoretical knowledge. Nampak tak? You relate dengan theoretical knowledge that you can explain why this happened. Boleh tak? Something like that. Okay. Let's say you dah macam mana? Report you dah sampai mana?
Saya saya sebenarnya dah buat report. But then my report macam saya hantar dekat saya punya supervisor, dia kata ini terlalu bukan terlalu detail, terlalu macam Prof cakap, terlalu essay writing punya style. So dia nak, you boleh tak you go to technical. Saya macam tu, saya macam blur sikit.
You kena buka buku
macam
balik.
Technical. Sebab bila saya dalam report saya explain from end to end, maksudnya daripada apa daily job saya, sebab saya go to operation maintenance, saya kata macam saya punya IR tu. Dia kata saya buat ni. Tapi bila tu dia return balik, kata tak apa, you buat lain tapi more to technical. Saya kata macam mana technical? Tak apa, you cari yang technical. Dan dia cari
dia tak bagi tahu, buka buku balik. You relate. Macam katakan fluid flow. You ingat tak Reynolds number, Stokes equations? Ingat tak yang waktu belajar dulu?
So maksudnya
flow in your tank, is it turbulent or laminar flow?
So
ada tak calculation tu?
Yang tu tak ada lah, sebab kita buat daily job. So daily job memang tak
technical.
So daily job just Q in, Q out, dan macam tu lah, based on pH in, pH out, dan ammonia in, ammonia out.
Saya faham.
So kita tak macam saya dah buat report sebenarnya dah 3 tahun punya report. So dudam last dia macam okay. So saya kata sebab sebelum ni saya tak go mana-mana kelas untuk training macam ni lah. Saya saya just pergi buat kerja saya dan buat report, saya hantar kat supervisor, saya cakap okay tambah ni sikit. So saya tak ada point to the end tu tak ada, just continuous report saya sampai dah macam dah macam buat master pula lah. Macam tu.
Dengan Aiman, bila you water flow in tu, I mean effluent yang within going into your system tu, itu pun you kena calculate tau. Itulah the balance dia. I mean mass balance tu.
Mass balance itu saya cakap, mass balance Q in Q out. But then saya tak ada, yang tu ada. But
within
then
the
macam,
system ada.
within the system ada addition tank. So tapi macam doktor cakap untuk fokus pada one tank, tapi yang apa yang saya buat sekarang, saya tak fokus. Saya report saya lah, saya nampak. Saya just sentuh semua saya sentuh, but then just on the surface je lah.
You
macam,
tak ada breadth and depth. You tak ada breadth and depth.
Betul.
Okay. So sekarang Aiman nampak kan apa yang saya komen sama dengan apa yang supervisor komen.
So sekarang ni saya nampak saya kena buang
technical.
80% report saya kena buang. Saya kena redo balik.
Betul.
Lah.
Fokus, buka buku teks balik, check whatever equation, apa yang boleh relate. Macam saya tanya tadi, Reynolds number is the easiest one. Even pump you pernah dengar Mach number tak?
Tak.
Pernah dengar? So itulah yang kind of the standards yang you need to put in so that it looks technical. Nampak technical.
Yang tu yang penting nak technical punya, macam mana kita nak present technical report. Sebab apa yang saya buat sekarang ni, yang untuk report kerja ataupun report more tu lebih kepada essay. Kita akan cerita masalah, clogging apa semua. Dalam report saya ada. But then bila saya pergi hantar kat supervisor, dia cakap, you ni tak technical lagi, kena lebih technical. Saya kata, macam mana technical? Dia kata, tak apa, you pergi balik. Macam tu.
Sekarang clear tak saya cakap tu?
Sekarang ni clear lah. So sekarang ni saya dah tahulah, hanya 20% je introduction, 80% saya akan fokus pada ammonia punya reduction. So saya akan collect balik daripada teori sampai ke praktikal.
Yes, good. Buka balik buku.
Faham.
Okay. So dekat situ ada calculation yang involved. Satu dah contoh saya bagi. Contoh bila you dah calculate the flow of effluent ke influent ke whatsoever, then you have to like decrease down the power. Contoh kan,
betul,
the
faham.
The
Pump punya
pumping
flow rate.
system ke whatsoever.
Betul.
So you boleh relate balik dengan apa problem
benda tu
yang
kita
you
dah
solve.
buat on site, but then as per technical, yang kata technical tu kita tak, macam mana kita macam reduce punya flow, kita dah buat, but then kita tak go tu sampai how macam mana teori tu backup. Teori backup kita punya ni.
Evident. Yes.
Betul.
Soalan akhir Aiman tadi, ada satu last soalan. Absorb
betul. Sebab saya macam tak ada FMA ataupun absorb. Sebab absorb tu masa kita design plan, FMA pula didesign oleh plan tu lah sendiri, ataupun safety ataupun mechanical team. So kalau macam saya lebih pada operational. So apa saya nak buat? Macam prof tunjuk FME tu ada, tapi saya nak tunjuk apa?
Okay, saya bagi cadangan lah untuk bahagian safety tadi tu dia tak kata necessary dia tak kata necessary, but you can present on, let's say aeration punya, katakan you ada aeration problem, something like that, you can cascade down atau narrow down to FME kat aeration system. Either the pumping ataupun either the whatever yang include piping system kat bahagian tu. Kan saya kata FME saya buat 5 muka surat je kan tadi. Something like that. You cascade down. Sebab benda ni bukan you yang buat, right?
Betul.
Tapi the thing that you dah resolve, bahagian tu sajalah. Bahagian tu you focus down kat situ. You should try buat dulu, and then assessor akan faham. You bukan tapi you try to suggest kind of FMEA, hazard analysis that is suitable for adjustment ataupun apa yang you dah buat kepada you punya plan tu lah.
Okay.
Katakan you try untuk pumping system, aeration system ataupun clogging system kat bahagian tu lah. So that you can avoid any other problem to repeatedly happen macam tu. Nanti like that. Dia tak berulang kembali. Something like that.
Okay.
Boleh tak?
Boleh.
So
Soalan
it's not
terakhir, Prof.
necessarily 10 pages.
Soalan terakhir, saya dah faham dah tu. Soalan terakhir, macam saya Prof cakap chemical engineer dan IM ni tak ramai. So saya dah approach IM Pahang. Dan IM Pahang kata saya di Kuantan. So IM Pahang dia kata dia tak ada expertise untuk saya nak apply PAE dekat Pahang.
Kan?
Ya, dia suruh saya advice untuk pergi ke KL lah. HQ. So macam mana tu?
Memang macam tu. You bawa IEM ke? IEM.
Tak, sekarang ni saya nak try tu bawa IEM dulu.
Okay. Okay, macam ni. You boleh submit ke board BEM.
Betul.
Tak ada masalah.
Betul.
Dan kalau you submit ke IEM, you kena jadi juga graduate member of IEM. Kalau tak silap saya lah. Okay, you submit ke board of engineer Malaysia. You nak cepat ke nak cepat ke nak lambat?
Dia tak ada cepat lambat. Saya asalkan dapat benda tu sebab dah 7 years.
Okay.
Ya,
okay,
7-8 years without the acknowledgement. So better ya.
Okay, kalau you nak cepat IEM, sangat cepat dia proses.
Okay.
Sebab bila you hantar ke IEM, you bayarlah sikit sebagai graduate member, hantar ke IEM, cepat sangat dia proses. Okay, insyaAllah. Kalau you hantar ke board, lama sebab dia akan hantar pula you punya report sama ada ke MySet atau ke IEM. Macam ni ada 2 step yang seterusnya lah macam tu. You tunggu banyak bulan juga.
That's why macam saya cakap, saya dah approach IEM Pahang. But then IEM kata dia pergi ke belah-belah KL.
You hantar ke HQ.
HQ IEM. So sebab dalam borang tu dia boleh pilih tempat. So saya try nak pilih untuk Pahang. But then bila saya approach IEM Pahang, dia kata tak prefer pergi tempat lain. Macam tu.
Yes, memang KL senang dan cepat. Sebab saya rasa you takkan ada masalah kot. You dah kerja lama. Okay. Terus ke HQ, saya punya mentor pun, mentee saya pun saya minta terus saya di Perlis. Mentee saya di Kulim. Dan saya suruh dia hantar sebab di Kedah pun chemical engineer tak ada. Banyak civil, electrical, sama case dengan you.
Betul.
Okay. Terus berhubung dengan HQ, you buka IEM punya page, you dapatkan maklumat. Dia orang email pun balas agak cepat. Okay? So you terus ke HQ, nanti you berhubung dengan dia orang, hantar punya report, you punya experience report dan borang-borang tu banyak borang tu submit and dia orang akan panggil you. Dan you bayar yuran lah sikit.
Okay, boleh.
HQ memang kita semua galakkan HQ.
Itulah saya dah approach IEM Pahang. Saya cakap tapi memang kata tak, you kena hantar ke HQ. Kita Pahang ni kita tak ambil chemical. Dia macam ya ke? Macam tu.
The best thing is you tak payah pergi sana pun. Bila you email, dia akan bagi you alamat semua untuk hantar dan people in charge, PIC. So you post laju kat dia orang, you post laju, you tulis PIC dia dan dia akan uruskan. Setelah you bayar sesuatu lah, bayar yuran dia lah.
Yuran dia, betul. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Doktor.
All the best, Aiman. Cik Aiman. Semoga berjaya.
Terima kasih.
Sama, tak ada masalah. Okay, saya rasa itu saja Kak Alia. So anything, kalau
Cik Aiman ada nak soalan? Tadi dia ada.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aiman lain pula?
Saya Aiman, yang tadi Iman.
Aiman, okay Aiman. Sila.
Saya just nak tanya sebab saya pun baru je daftar as a graduate engineer under BM and baru kerja pun baru kerja lah kiranya dalam 2 tahun kerja. And then as per apa yang saya faham, this technical report technical writing ni kita akan hantar like after 3 years berdaftar as a graduate engineer kan?
Betul.
Okay, lepas tu my question or my concern is contoh sekarang saya dah kerja dengan company for 2 years and then saya register as baru je register as graduate engineer. And then for the next like 3 years, let's say contoh sekarang I'm working on some project yang untuk I tulis dalam technical report untuk I hantar or register as PE ni. And then contoh dalam tempoh 3 years tu macam I tukar company or the project tak boleh nak jalan. So macam mana macam mana how do I continue the project? Should I continue or should I macam dah lompat company lain, maksudnya dah pergi ke company lain buat projek baru kat company baru macam tu lah saya nak tanya.
Okay. Mas Aiman, sorry tadi Iman ni Aiman lah. Dah tua masalah pendengaran sikit. Okay Aiman, boleh saya tahu company mana sekarang?
Sekarang saya kerja dekat Petrofac Malaysia as a third party punya contract lah.
I see. Okay. Saya share screen saya sekejap just to answer your question.
Right, okay, sure.
I think you can see my screen. Boleh nampak screen saya?
Okay, nampak?
Boleh nampak screen? Boleh nampak screen
nampak.
saya? Okay. Tadi ingat tak saya this one? Ni.
Okay.
It is essential, that the drawing submitted shall be the work of the applicant in the ordinary course of his permanent, contractual, long-term
I see.
So
Okay,
yang ni
faham.
penting. Yang ni daripada mereka. So might as well you masih lagi di situ. You wait for 3 years baru you jump to another company.
Oh, okay. Maksudnya stay for 3 years and then baru.
Kalau you memang berminat nak go for PE lah.
I see. Faham.
Permanent or long term employment. So that you are sebenarnya dia punya sebab dia buat this kind of term supaya you complete, you close the loop actually.
Okay, faham.
So you done the design, fabrication and then implementation, something like that.
Yeah, see, sebab my concern is when it comes to contractor punya kerja ni kita kena faham dia tak macam bila-bila je dia macam once dah habis contract mungkin boleh jadi continue ataupun tak continue kan. So that's just my concern lah.
I see. So now you are working in which project?
Currently saya sebenarnya sekarang tengah jaga water injection punya treatment plant.
I see. That one is good. Good lah. Good project lah. Even though it's I think similar like Iman tadi. IWK kan. So you can secretary narrow down to whatever problems that you encounter. What kind of problem solving that you make. Engineering problem solving.
I see.
And when you come to the report, make sure that you have this kind of a relationship dengan chemical engineering theory. So that kat situlah you boleh masukkan all kind of calculations there.
I see. Okay, faham. Understood. Okay, faham.
Okay.
Alright.
So thank you. I would like to say thank you to all the participants, even though it's a small group. Tapi hopefully I've given my best to everybody. My sharing. If you have any problems, I think you can contact Mega Jati and get my my contact details. Okay, Alia, back to you. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Alright. Thank you, Associate Professor Engineer Dr. Umi Fazra Ali for the great sharing session. And also thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. Once you leave this webinar, you will receive a survey email for today's webinar session. And we really appreciate if you could complete that and provide us your feedback. On behalf of Mega Jati Academy and our speaker, thank you for joining us today. Stay safe and take care everyone. Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, welcome. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Doctor.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
No problem. All the best to everybody.
Thank you.
Okay.